4 years of growth is wild, man.
Bruh, crazy. Yeah, man. It'll be 5 years at the end of this year, I think. Yeah. 4.5 years. That's wild.
So do these feel heavy after a while, or what?
Bruh. Especially if you get in the ocean or the pool or something. It's like you have a wet towel on your head.
Yeah, that makes sense, that makes sense.
They get hot, boy. You know, I'm out there in the heat every day.
I love this. Bro, it's been a long time since I did a big transformation like this, man.
Yeah, for real, for real. That's why I booked that premium package. I was like, let me go ahead and
need the time.
Go ahead and do it all. Yeah, I know he's gonna need a little extra time for this one.
You really about to drop a bombshell on wifey, huh?
Bro, she about to be like, what?
But like you said, she was already looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, she hyped. She gonna be so happy. I don't know what my daughter gonna do. She ain't gonna recognize me. She's only known me. I mean, she's only 2.5, so she's only known me with locks.
Yeah. So really, guys, you just want to make sure that when you're cutting these off, you just want to make sure that you get the knot cut out. The knot cut out, so that way you could get that hair loose enough that you could pick through it. And obviously, once that part is done, then we'll go ahead, pick it out, sculpt it, and we can freehand this. Nice, solid shape. All right, guys, so one thing when you're washing the hair, you just got to make sure that you test the temperature of the water on your hands first, because if it's too sensitive for your hand, especially the back of your hand, it's going to be way too hot for your client's scalp. So just get it to a point where it's a little comfortable right here on your hand. Test it out towards the back of their scalp. That's cool. Yeah. And especially when you're doing a big transformation like this, get his hair nice and saturated. You want to use a clarifying shampoo. That's going to make sure that it removes all the dirt, all the oil, all the sweat, everything out of the hair for a nice fresh start. Especially as you're running your hands all the way through the head, just make sure that you catch. You'll be able to feel where all the tight knots are from the dread. Pull them apart, right? Just run your hands all through the scalp, feel for those dense spots, and you can kind of pull them apart with your fingers. Remember, we're gonna want our comb to, our pick to be able to flow through all of this. While we're actually in the shampoo bowl, I can start running this pick through just to make sure that we didn't miss anything. And if I run to any really dense hair, any really dense challenges, I know I gotta spend a little more time scrubbing there. So I met Trey because he used to work with my dad. My dad was with a home inspection company. Papa, or viejo.
Viejito. Go right there.
Try to do your best too, guys, when you're shampooing to keep the water out of their eyes and out of their ears. Just make it an overall comfortable experience. So of course you're not going to want your client coming back super drenched to the chair, right? So we're going to make sure that we want to get as much moisture pulled into this towel that we can. All right, guys. So now that we already have this picked out, now if you have a pair of curved shears, you definitely can pull those out now, because we're going to start establishing the shape. I want to just give them a nice round shape. We'll go ahead and get rid of all this excess. You can see there's one little knot there that we didn't get out earlier. But yeah, let's go ahead and start shaping this up. We're gonna remove a good bit. Just make sure that we can keep a nice shape that will complement Trey's head here and make sure that the fade flows well. But look, guys, this is why I like using these curved shears, man. You can see it just really helped the natural shape just come in together. You just gotta let these shears just glide over the hair. Just get into a nice shape. Obviously, if you want to go significantly lower, then you know you might want to remove a little bit of bulk with your clippers and do all that. But honestly, like once you get it at a general shape, that curved shear is going to hit real good. These are fresh shears, by the way, 8 inches long. You know, they're going to tell you that, honestly, they're going to tell you these are dog grooming shears, but they work. I'm telling you, bro. Look, they don't make human shears bigger than 7 inches.
Wow.
If they're 8, I don't know, bro. It works perfect for this and for the beards. I don't know. I feel like if I could cover more ground with one snip. But that's just me. There we go. All right, guys, this is the fun part here. Now we're gonna go ahead and start cutting into the bulk on the sides. Let's get this fade laid down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my clipper all the way close. And he likes a higher fade, remember that? So we're gonna definitely cut out here the C-cup. We're gonna go right up to that corner. Bring your head down a little bit. So look, look, next we're gonna go here with the clipper open, right? Same Babyliss clipper. Let's go ahead, open that lever up. And we're gonna give ourselves some space to blend here. Put your head down a little bit. So look, essentially I'm just gonna hit it right there. I'm gonna get that line where I need it. I'm gonna pull out. Get the line where I need it and pull out. So we're just gonna do a few more passes here, guys, using this just to make sure that this section is nice and even. And once we make sure that it is even, then we're gonna jump into the blending portion of this. Let's just make sure all this is cut nice and even. So look, now that we already set that bald line with the clipper closed, that top line with the clipper open, let's go ahead and start blending out that middle line with this lever about halfway closed. And you can see I'm not gonna go all the way up. I'm not gonna exactly touch that top line now that I have it on the halfway setting with the lever, but I'm gonna get very close to it. And it's just gonna take one pass here with this clipper halfway. And look, one more pass. Let's go ahead and go one more notch closed. We're still not all the way closed, but by the time that we get down to the lever being all the way closed, we can really just break through that bottom line that we set at first. And then we will be 100% blurry with this panel and we can move on to the next section. Now we're all the way closed. So now we're just dancing on that line. Dancing on that first line that we made. You can still barely see it right now, but we know that it's there. And we know that we can get rid of it by using the same tool, the same setting that we used to put it in. So if you're somebody who does prefer to use your trimmers to go ahead and put that line in, you may have to pull out your trimmers at this point to go ahead and blur it out. But that's why I like to use just a clipper blade. If I start with the clipper blade closed, I know that the clipper blade close is gonna be able to blend the rest of that out without me having to pull out another tool. So look, that part is done, right? Now, let's go ahead and take this 1.5 guard. So we have the 1.5 here, and I'm gonna try my best to use a nice straight up and down motion here. I'm gonna try to put in a shape here that complements Trey's hair. Y'all can see, man, this shape is coming together real nice. Now these Gamma guards, this is the tight guard, so I feel like Gamma really did better with this second round of guards, better than the original double magnetics that they made. But these right here, you'll be able to recognize them because they got a blue and they got a pink set. But look, they're super visible, right? So you're not gonna be losing your guards. They're really brightly colored. And I like the fact that they're double magnetic so they can keep me better organized, especially since, you know, the way that I teach you guys to fade, you're really only gonna be using these smaller guard numbers. I'm not a big fan of you guys, you know, going in and using your 4, 3, 2, 1, you know what I mean? Like, we're very efficient and very selective with the guards that we use. You'll notice here, look, I'm going with this 1.5. I started with the 1.5 open, but now I'm at the 1.5 closed. So what is a 1.5 closed equivalent to? That's basically equivalent to a 1 guard, right? So when I follow up, the next guard that I'm gonna use to fade out, I'm not gonna use the 1 guard because technically we already achieved that length by closing the 1.5 guard. I'm gonna jump straight into the half guard, right? But the half open, what is a half open equivalent to? It's also equivalent to a 1. So if I could jump in and just get straight to the point using the 1.5 guard and the half guard. If I can use both of those guards to create a full blend, that helps as far as your efficiency goes. Go into a haircut with a plan. If you fail to plan, you do plan to fail. So let's go in here with this half guard open. Another thing that helps too, once I get into this mode right here, if I just close that lever just a little bit, sometimes it helps me. This half guard can be very versatile because you can also do a bit of a raking method just to help this hair lay down. Because it's easy for this hair just to bend around and keep moving. But if you ever feel like you have a stubborn spot, especially when fading really curly hair like this, do a raking method with your half guard. I can't really do that with my 1 guard. So that's another reason why I like the half. I feel like it's a much more versatile guard. This blend is definitely starting to come together. So what we're gonna do now is we can just do a little bit of freehand work now to make sure that this whole ridge, this whole bulk line is not too bulky, nothing too overwhelming, right? So we're just gonna try to pick it up right there where the fade starts, right there where the fade ends. Yeah, he did. We're gonna take this, look, I'm just gonna follow right there. I want my clipper just to barely touch right there where his hair starts to get dark and pick that straight up. And look, I like to do the same thing with the front too, because I don't want a big bulge at the very front of the haircut either. I just like all of this to flow into the shape up top. Especially on a transformation like this, first time in so many years, you're gonna go back and forth, right? Keep adjusting the shape just to make sure. It's been so long since his hair's been in this form. That boy. So look here, guys, too, when you have this half guard, remember I was talking about the versatility of this half guard? I can do this tiger claw motion here over the fade on the side, and I can bring that into the very tips of his hairline just to make sure that all those little hairs are laid down and trimmed. I'll prep it with some high percentage alcohol, and we'll be able to come right behind that. I don't know about you guys, but it is always such a privilege whenever a customer comes in and they trust you, of all people, to come in and make this kind of transformation. By the way, shout out to Magnus Barber Supply there in the background, man. Definitely check out Magnus Barber Supply's website. I'm pretty sure I have a discount code with him too. It should be Tito Cuts, and you can get your hands on the FX1 set, just like what I'm using here today. But man, I was really happy with how this came out. I'm gonna show you guys, of course, in a little bit, a few clips of how it came out at the end. But man, this guy had 4 years worth of hair growth, and pretty much I've been cutting him for the last 2. I've been able to retain him for so long just by basic good business principles, good customer service, making sure that you always listen, thoroughly do your consultations, and they get easier over time. I mean, there definitely did come a point with my customer here where it's like, hey, you want the same, same as usual? You want the same tray special? So, but just keep good conversation. Remember some points that you talked about last time. I remember my guy Trey here, he opened up a pool cleaning business. So guess what? Every once in a while, I would make sure to ask him, bro, how's the business doing? Or, when he had a kid, how's the baby? Little stuff like that really can increase your value and improve the relationship that you can build with your clients. And remember, all of that stuff boils down to ACV. How much is your client worth to you over the year? And yeah, man, like those are just things that are so important to building a good, strong business. And we really emphasize that, of course, in the 6-Figure Barber Mentorship. Little details like this, making sure that the beard is nice and sculpted. Check out these clips here at the end, man. This was a amazing transformation. Absolutely wonderful, man. 4 years of dreads off. And he trusted your boy to get her done, man. So look, Tito Cuts is a discount code for the tools that we use today if you get them on Magnus Barber Supply. Thank you for tuning in, and follow me on TikTok. We do this live every week.